Hello from a very wet and windy Cape Town. The Cape of Storms is truly living up to its name today. Our session today will have some similarities to previous sessions, but I'd like to add in some eye exercises because we're all spending a bit more time staring at screens these days, and also some breathing exercises. Not exercises in their own right, but just focus a little bit more on the breathing to strengthen your lungs. I'm going to use a ball today. I borrowed this ball from my grandson. You don't have to find a ball. You can use a cushion instead of the ball. For now, I'm just dropping the ball next to me. I'm on a dining room chair without arms today because we're not going to use the arms. Just make sure the chair is quite nice and firm, and when you sit on the edge of your chair, your hips are slightly higher than your knees. And in that way, you don't put pressure on your lower back. Parallel thighs, feet directly underneath your knees, and just wiggling yourself right to the very edge of your seat so that your sitting bones are right on the edge of your seat. We're going to start today with some nice big shoulder rolls. Really loosening up the shoulders, warming that whole shoulder area. You can put your hands on your thighs if you want to, just gently, or you can drop your arms down next to your sides. Breathing easily, make sure you're not holding your breath, and then circles the other way. And then bicycle, one up and one down, and then the other way. Okay, then sitting really tall, hands on your thighs, elbows next to your sides. You're going to breathe in. And on a long breath out, you're going to put pressure on your feet. You're going to pull your lower belly in, and you're going to slide your shoulder blades down your back. Breathe in and release slightly. As you breathe out, still pressure on the feet. Belly in and your shoulders broad and heavy. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, pressure on your feet, belly in, and just gently lift your breastbone up and squeeze your shoulder blades together so your spine is really nice and long. Then just breathing normally, get into position with your hands on your shoulders. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press your elbows towards each other, drop your nose down. And breathe in, push on your feet, belly in, grow really tall, and squeeze your elbows behind you. And then breathe out, and elbows towards each other, drop your nose down. And then breathe in, grow really tall, pressure on the feet, and elbows squeezing towards each other, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then breathe out, elbows forward. And breathe in, shoulder blades together, really tall. You can lift your chin a little bit with this one. And one more, elbows forward as you breathe out. Keep the pressure on your feet, really lengthen your spine, squeeze your shoulder blades together and press your elbows back. And then relax. And a little loosen up. Then breathe in, lift your shoulders right up to your ears. And release. Again. And release. And one more big breath in. Fill your lungs completely. And then slowly breathe out. Gradually bringing your shoulders right down, and at the end of your breath, squashing every last drop of air out of your lungs. Then when you breathe in, you've got nice fresh air down to the bottom of your lungs. Back with your hands on your shoulders, you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to twist around, pushing your back elbow behind you and looking back as far as you can go, looking into the corner of your eye. And then breathe in and come forward. Again, as you breathe out, twist, grow tall, pressure on your feet, looking at your back elbow. And breathe in and come forward. Same again. As you breathe out, twist, really lengthen your spine. Keep your pressure on your feet, keep your belly in. and forward, and one more, and twist around, making sure there's no sharp pinching anywhere, and forward you come. Going to do the same thing, but this time going to stabilize your lower body by putting either your cushion or your ball between your knees, and try not to move the ball or the cushion. Hands on your shoulders, breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your feet, belly in, shoulders down, and twist, looking behind you. And breathe in, come forward. As you breathe out, twist onto the other side, really getting that back elbow as far behind you as you can go. And breathe in, and one more, and twist and look right behind you. And forward. And breathe out, belly in, spine long, pressure on your feet, looking into the corner of your eye, and forward. And again, just a little loosen up. Just a reminder that with these exercises, you must really be aware of what's going on in your body and make sure there's no discomfort anywhere, you're not feeling any pinching in your joints especially, and when there's a stretch, it's just a nice pull of the muscle and no sharp pain. So really keep focusing on what's going on with your body all the time. Next one is some gentle neck stretches. You can keep the ball between your knees, just hold it gently there. Gentle pressure on your feet, hands on your thighs, tuck your chin into your neck and drop your nose down towards your breastbone. Breathe in. As you breathe out, drop your nose further down and gently squeeze your shoulder blades together, making sure there's no pinching between the vertebrae of your neck. Breathe in. As you breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades together a little more. Feel your head getting a little heavier. Breathe in. And your nose going down. Still pressure on your feet, still your belly in, and your shoulder blades gently squeezing towards each other. And then gently come up. Little loosen up. You're going to take your hand across onto the opposite shoulder, and this upper trapeze, this muscle here gets really tight. Just cup it between the heel of your hand and your fingers. Just squeeze it, lift it, and drop it. Just a few times there. Make sure your neck is nice and easy as you do this. Just warming up and loosening up that muscle. And then onto the other side. So just taking the muscle between the heel of your hand and your fingers, and you're squeezing it and lifting it slightly. Just be gentle with yourselves and don't inflict pain. Right, and another little loosen up. And then really tall, so you're staring into an imaginary mirror in front of you, and keep staring straight forward. Take your ear to your shoulder. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pull both shoulders down really firmly and tip your ear down to your shoulder. Making sure there's no pinching on the short side and a nice big stretch on the long side. 2 more breaths here. Staring straight forward, make sure you're not turning away. And 1 more breath. Pulling both armpits firmly down towards your waist. And carefully up. Loosen. And to the other side, really tall. Pressure on the feet, belly in, up. Mirror in front of you, keep staring into the mirror. And over you go. If it's pinching on the short side, pull that shoulder down a bit more firmly. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pull both shoulders down and drop your ear to your shoulder. 2 more breaths. Feeling that lovely long stretch from behind your ear, running in a straight line to the tip of your shoulder. Last breath. And gently come up. And a nice little loosen. Okay, then you're going to take your ball, hold it between your palms of your hands, up really tall, use your cushion if you've got that, and we're going to work your arms. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your feet, belly in, shoulders down, and squash the palms of your hands into your ball, all the time squeezing your shoulder blades together. Breathe in and release a bit. As you breathe out, press on your feet, belly in, grow taller, pull your shoulders down as you squash the ball. Breathe. And go again, squashing the palms of your hands into the ball, making sure your shoulders don't roll forward. Keep your shoulder blades gently squeezing together. Breathing. And squash again. Pull your armpits down to your waist so you've really stabilized your upper body. Breathing. And squash again, growing taller and taller, pressure on the feet, belly going in and in and in. And squash again without your shoulders coming up, without your shoulders rolling forward. Breathing. And squash. And as you squash, feel as though you're opening the front of your armpits over here. Don't let that close up. Breathing. And squash, growing taller. Easy next. 2 more breaths. And pressure on your feet, shoulders down, armpits pulling down. And 1 more. And squash. And now you're going to do little pulses. And you're going to involve your fingers as well. So you're squashing the tips of your fingers and your thumbs into the ball. So you're squashing this way as well as this way. And go a little breath out each time and go 10 more. 3 taller, 4, 5, shoulder blades together, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Right, as you can see, we're gradually moving down the body from the top to the bottom. Put your ball between your knees now and bring your feet a little closer together. Hands on your thighs, wiggle right onto the edge of your seat. Breathing. On a long breath out, press hard, your feet pressing into the floor, your knees squashing the ball, your belly going in, your sitting bones squeezing together, and you're growing taller. Breathe in and release it. As you breathe out, press on your feet, squeeze your knees, belly in, sitting bones squeezing together, and your shoulders right down, growing taller. Make sure you're not rolling forward. Breathing. As you breathe out, feet, knees, belly, bum, and your breastbone lifted. Breathing. And feet, knees, belly, bum, and then just on the breath out, growing taller and pulling your belly further and further and further back towards your spine. Breathing. And feet, knees, belly, bum. Make sure your ribs aren't flaring open. Gently close your ribs. Breathing. And feet, knees, belly, bum. Push on your feet. Really squash that ball and make sure that your navel is going in and in. In fact, below your navel is where you must be focusing. Breathing. And feet, knees, belly, bum. Taller, 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 taller. 2 more breaths. As you breathe out, feet, knees, belly, bum, taller. The last long breath, and press on your feet, squeeze your knees, lower belly in, sitting bones together. Now keep that all well held, and you're going to isolate your glutes. So you're going to squeeze your sitting bones together and release. A little breath each time, and each time you squeeze here, press a little harder on your feet. And you can bring your feet a little closer to the chair if you want to. So almost feel as though you're wanting to lift yourself up. So your legs are quite involved here as well. But the focus must be on squeezing your sitting bones towards each other and then releasing. Nothing going on in your shoulders, and you're only going up and down because you're pushing on your feet and you're squeezing your sitting bones together. Let's go 10 more. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. If you work that one hard, it's actually quite intense. And now we are going to just do some arm stretches. So you can take your ball away and put it down. Lift your one arm up and then put the palm of your hand on your shoulder blade. You can either keep the stretch like this, pressing your elbow up towards the ceiling, or if your shoulders and neck will allow you, you can gently hold your elbow and pull it up and back. But make sure there's no pinching in your shoulder joint. Breathe in. As you breathe out, push your elbow up and back. And next breath, push the elbow up and back a little bit more, either without the hand or with the hand. And last one, elbow pushing up to the ceiling. You're feeling the stretch here in your triceps. Make sure the neck is nice and easy. And change sides. Arm up. And the palm of your hand on your shoulder blade, and you're working your fingertips as far down your back as you can. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're either just pressing your elbow up and back like that, keeping your chin slightly tucked, or you're holding onto your elbow and giving it a bit more of a stretch there. And one more breath. And relax. And loosen up. Okay, before we go into the stretches now for your legs, I'd like to do some eye exercises. So for this one, you've got to make sure that you keep your nose absolutely still. And you're going to take one hand up so that if you look into the corner of your eyes, you can just see that finger at the edge of your vision, and the other hand diagonally down, and saying, it's really tricky here not to move your nose and look down at that bottom finger. So keeping your head absolutely still. You're going to look right up at your top hand, feeling the eye muscles pulling, and then down at the bottom hand. And up at the top hand, you can move it a bit further back if you want to challenge your eye muscles a bit more, and down at the bottom hand. And up at the top hand, and down at the bottom hand, and one more. Up, and then down, and then change. Just adjust. Remember to keep your nose still. Look up at your top hand and down there at the bottom hand. Up at the top hand, don't move your head, and down at the bottom, and again up at the top and down at the bottom hand. Oh, I moved my nose a bit there, it's so easy to do that. And relax. Loosen up your shoulders, and then find a point as far away from you as you can to stare at, and then put your thumb in front of you, so stare at a point as far away from you as you can, stare at your thumb, and then look at your nose. Stare far away, look at your thumb, look at your nose. Focus far away, focus on your thumb, focus on your nose, far away, thumb, nose, and one more, far away, thumb and nose. And loosen up again. Right, let's go into the stretches. First, the calf stretch. This one's very familiar. Extend your one leg, lift your toes up, flatten your knee, and the other foot is pressing firmly into the ground, so your spine's long and it's really keeping your core muscles working nicely there. Breathe in. As you breathe out, push your extended heel away from you and lift your toes up towards your shin, keeping your knee as flat as you can. Breathe in. And push your heel further away from you. Don't let anything around your hips and your belly move. And one more breath. And your toes lifting up, pushing the heel away, flatten your knee. Now breathe in. As you breathe out, press down on your flat foot, belly in, and lift your heel just off the floor. And then we're going to do 10 little lifts there, feeling your quads kicking in nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, taller, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change legs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, flatten your extended knee, push your heel away and lift your toes right up towards your shin. Breathe in. As you breathe out, make sure this flat foot is pressing onto the floor, your belly's in and your toes are lifting up towards your shin. And one more breath. And toes lifting up a little higher. Now really grow tall. Push hard on this flat foot. Lift your heel just off the floor. Keep the knee flat. Don't let it bend. And then 10 little lifts. 1, 2, 3. Keeping your upper body absolutely still. 4. No, that's about 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Going now into hamstring stretch. So extend your one leg. This time your knee is soft and your foot is relaxed. You can breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your flat foot, belly in, spine long, and you're going to take your waist forward with your spine nice and long, and gently creep your hand down your leg without pulling the shoulder out of alignment. Keep pressure on this flat foot so your balance is there. And you're going to go 2 more long breaths, feeling a good stretch underneath your thigh here, in the back of your thigh. If you're very loose, you might need to put both hands on the floor, but make sure you don't collapse your head forward. And the last breath. And change legs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your flat foot, belly in, spine long, and take your whole waist forward. So you're not rounding your back at all, and you can gently creep your hand down, or put both of your hands on the floor, either side of your foot. Keep pressure on this flat foot, and go 2 more long breaths, making sure you've got a nice stretch in the back of your thigh. Last breath. And gently come up. This next one is the one that if you've got hip problems in the hip joint or you've got hip replacements, just relax with this one and please don't do it. Also, there's some knees that don't enjoy this position. Again, just monitor your body and make sure that everything is feeling comfortable. So your foot is going across your knee, you tuck this bottom foot in, you flex your top foot over here, and then just gently press your knee down towards the floor. At first just grow tall, wait for the stretch to settle down. You should be getting a stretch on the outside of this thigh. If you're not getting a big stretch here and you need more, you're going to go further forward. If the stretch is quite strong, just stay here and breathe into it. Breathe in. As you breathe out, if you need more stretch, press your bottom foot firmly into the floor, belly in, spine long, and go forward with your waist going towards your thighs. Just breath by breath, further forward. Let's just be a comfortable pull in this hip and glute area. 2 more breaths. Gently up and change legs. Tuck this bottom foot in so it's like your strong standing foot. Top foot flexed. Gently pressing your knee to the floor. Belly in, spine long. Just doing a body scan, checking that there's no discomfort anywhere, and you're just getting a nice stretch on the outside here. If you need more stretch, breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your bottom foot, belly in, spine long, and again, breath by breath, going deeper into it. As you breathe out, you go further into the stretch, and then you stay there as you breathe in. One more long breath. And gently come up. And now another little loosen up. And feet exercises. You know, this is what I really think is important, and I'm sure most of you are walking a lot more than you normally do. Got lots of time on your hands. You've got a lovely summer now. I urge you to get out and walk as much as you can. But to get the feet going, take your heels a little further forward, keep your knees bent and your toes lifted as high off the floor as they'll go. And then you're going to curl your toes tightly as though you're clutching a pencil underneath your toes, and then spread them out wide. And curl and spread out. We can use the hands as well. Squeeze your fists and spread out. And take your elbows back and gently squeeze your shoulder blades together so that you're working your upper body and your chest is nice and open. And squeeze and open and curl and spread. Curl, spread out wide. Really squeeze and spread, squeeze and spread, and another one, squeeze and spread. Now I'd just like to show you a little one for your homework. Okay, my lovely cruising New Zealand tea towel, showing all the lovely ports there. Take a tea towel and put it on the floor. It's best on a tiled floor or on a wooden floor. It's a bit difficult on a carpet. Your heels are off the towel and your front of your foot on, and then you're just going to use your toes to gradually scrunch that towel underneath your instep. I'll just show you once more. Spread the towel out, and then I find it for my coordination, using alternative feet works best, but just see how it goes for you. Heels on the floor and your toes on the mat, and then just curl, and you're just pulling, and this is working all those wonderful muscles that help support your bones in your feet and help support your whole body. You can just keep pulling, 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 pulling underneath there. And that's a very good one. If you do that daily and do it as long as you can, you'll really feel the difference in your feet muscles. Now this one is actually more for your core than for anything else. Again, come to the very edge of your seat. You can just hold your arms in front of you. Again, make sure you're not hunching forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You push strongly on your one foot, and then you lift the knee of the other leg up towards your hands and lower. Then, let's do it with breath. So let's start now. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press on your one foot and lift your knee right up, and try not to move your hips as you do that. And breathe in and lower. And lift. Press on your bottom foot so that your sitting bones remain equal pressure on your chair. And lower. And breathe out and lift. Grow taller. Stick your chest out a bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades gently together. And lower. And lift. Make sure you're pressing really strongly on that bottom foot, and lift the knee right up. And lower. And breathe out and lift. You can feel how your core here is stabilizing everything. And lower. And press on your foot. Lift. Breathe in and lower. And breathe out and lift. Shoulders down, growing really tall. And lower. And lift up. And down. And one more on each side. Lift tall. And lower. And another one, lift up and lower. Loosen up your shoulders, and then just press the balls of your feet into the floor and pop your insteps up and lower. And lift, lower, and lift, lower. Up, down, and push the balls of your feet down, lower. Lift, down, and lift. One more, and lift. Down, and take your feet quite wide, and then roll your knees together, big toes pressing into the floor, the outer edge of your feet lifting up as high as you can, and then the other way, open. And little toes up, big toes pressing into the floor, and then little toes pressing down, lift the big toes, and roll. And taking your ankle through its nice big range of movement here, and lift, also using the muscles in your feet, and lift. And there, and one more, big toes up and little toes up. Feet back underneath your knees, press firmly on your one foot, lift the other foot just off the floor, and just circles with your ankles. If your lower back is a bit uncomfortable here, hold onto the thigh, support it there, and then circle the other way, up tall, belly in, spine long. And change legs, circling up tall, and circling the other way. Right. Now for a little bit of breathing, just to get your lungs opening up nicely and a bit of control. Sitting tall, you're going to breathe in for 4, you're going to hold your breath for 4, breathe out for 4, hold your breath for 4. Okay, let's start. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. One more. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. And that's breathing you can do at any time of day, and it's just very good for your lungs to have that kind of control when you're breathing. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I wish you to stay fit and healthy, and hope to see you soon. Bye.